Okay, in this lesson we're going to be taking the two chords that we learned in the previous lesson, the E minor chord and the D over F sharp, add 6, add 2 chord. Okay? We're going to take those two chords and we're going to work on a strumming pattern. Actually I'm going to use a pick here for this. Well, there's two ways to do it. You can use your hand to strum, or you can use the pick to strum. Actually, I'll do it both ways. I guess I'll do it first with my hand. But when you strum with your hand, when you go in a downstroke, because there's downstrokes and there's upstrokes, and you can have a down motion. And of course, I'm doing it here so you can see, but you'll be down here. Okay, but you can go have a downstroke or an upstroke. So down is towards the floor, and up is towards the ceiling. Okay. Now, if you're strumming with your hand, you want to, on the downstroke, use the backs of your the nails of your hand on your right hand. So you use the nails of your fingernails to go down like that. And then on the upstroke, you use the back of your thumb right here, your thumbnail, on an upstroke. So down is with the backs of your fingernails, and then your thumbnail on the way up. Okay? Now, if you do that way a lot, you'll kind of have a tear on your thumbnail there, because I do that a lot and have to trim my nail a little shorter there from my right hand thumb. But down is with backs of the fingernails, up is with the thumbnail. Okay, so I just want you to finger the E minor chord that we learned in the previous lesson. Okay, 2nd fret A string, 2nd fret D string, and I want you to practice going down, up. So down, up, and actually it'll be here. I'll move a little bit so you can see that. Down, or down, and then up. Down, up. You can also go down with the flesh of your thumb and then go up with the thumbnail like that. You can also do it that way. Just depends on what sound you want, because it gives a little different timbre to the sound, you know, depending on how you're strumming the strings, okay? But just practice the down and up however you're doing it. I would practice it all three of these ways, with the backs of the fingernails, the back of the thumb, and then also down with the thumb, the flesh of the thumb. And then you go like that. Down and up in a steady rhythm, like 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, like that. Now if you're using the pick, it's going to be louder automatically. Listen to this. In fact, let me turn that down a little bit. It's not quite so loud. Here how it changes the sound of it with the pick. You just get a louder, more full tone at the beginning like that. When you hold the pick, when you're strumming, you want to make sure you're holding it in all three fingers here. Your thumb, your pointer finger, and your middle finger will all have a part in it, holding it when you're strumming. Now when you're soloing and playing one string at a time, you'll tend to want to use more just your pointer finger and your thumb, because that gives you more delicacy when you're going in between strings. But when you're strumming and doing full chords, on the guitar, you want to use all three fingers like that. And you don't want to do this. Some people hold the pick like this. They just get it wedged in their hand like that, and actually have the pick up against their pointer finger. You don't want to do that. Okay? You want to hold it with all three fingers like this, your thumb and your peace fingers on your right hand. Okay? And so finger that E minor chord, and I just want you to go down, up, down, up. And you also could practice some downs first. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. After you do that for a while, then go 1, up, down, up. And you'll find the upstroke more difficult, because it's a more unnatural kind of a stroke, it feels like. You notice when I'm using the pick, I'm just using the very tip of the pick. Okay? You don't want to dig in so deep with it like that, because it's kind of like taking your hand and going over the top of water if you're in a swimming pool or something, and you're on the very top of the water, and you can skim your hand pretty easily across the top. But if you put your hand down in the water and then try to do that, it's much more difficult. And the same thing with the pick. You want to use the tip of that pick, and you want to place it at an angle. So when I'm doing a downstroke, my pick the tip of it is facing upwards a little bit towards the ceiling. like that on the way down, and then I actually will turn it the opposite direction to where it's tilted towards the ground when I go up like that. So it's kind of, you know, your wrist is going to rotate like that between the up and down stroke, okay? But you really need to master the upstroke on this as well as the down. You might want to just do some upstrokes to really get used to the feel for doing an upstroke there. But always do it in a steady rhythmic fashion in groups of 4, because most music is based on common time signature, which is 4/4, 4 beats per measure. Not all of it, but the great majority of it. So, after you do that, you want to switch to the D chord with F sharp on the bottom, add 6, add 2. It's a long name for a chord. Practice on that chord as well. So you get that one ready, and then we do some down strokes and some up strokes. 3. Okay, and then you want to practice going back and forth between them. So let's do that. Let's do 4 down strokes on the E minor, and then 4 down strokes on the D chord. So let's go 1, 2, 3, 4. Change. Change back. 2, 3, 4. Okay, now you may be noticing already you can't change on time. You feel like you're late, maybe getting to the second chord and getting back to the other one. And the truth is, it's physically impossible to, land that chord right on time, to hold this one to the very last millisecond and then change. There's always that little, time in between of changing from one chord to the next on guitar. So, you want to think ahead, think of what you're going to do. Your fingers actually split. The pointer finger goes towards the ceiling. The middle finger goes towards the floor. So they split, and they're going back and forth. Now to practice the change between the two, because that's what you need to get, because once you get the chord down, of course it's easy to strum it once you have it, and it's easy to strum this one once you have this one. But the change from one to the next, from one chord to another, is what's hard, what's difficult. So you want to practice going from this one to this one, just with your left hand, back and forth, boom, 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 from the two, between the two chords there. Okay, now here's the strumming pattern I'm going to show you. First, it's going to be down. Let's see. Okay, we're going to go down, up, down, up. All right, listen to that. Down, up, down, up. So, down, up, up. Got it? That's the first part of it. You might want to write it down. Write it down. Down, up, up. D, U, D, U. Or, write some arrows on a piece of paper. Down, up, up. Now, the last of it goes up, down, up. Like this. Up, down, up. Do that again. Up, down, up. One more time. Up, down, up. We put it together, and then we get down, up, down, up. Da, 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 da. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So there's 7 strokes all together. And the first part of it is down, up, up. And then the last of it is up, down, up. Now you heard a little pause there in the middle where I let it ring. Down, up, down, up. Up, down, up. Hear that? Down, up, down, up, down, up. Make sure that one lasts a little while. Okay, then change to the next chord. Do the same thing. The D chord. Down, up, down, down, up. You may recognize this tune. This is from a very simple song. So listen to it. Okay, so there's your strumming pattern. Down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up. So really go through in this lesson and practice all the little strokes. Even if you think it's boring, it's really necessary. Okay, it's really better to be bored and thinking it's too easy instead of being frustrated. So you're in a good place if that's where you are. Just a really cool chord progression there, and those are the 2 easiest chords I know. So start with those and get that down. You can do the next lesson.